This PDF covers Section 2.4. You should be familiar with the following: basic set concepts and operations. Everything covered in 2.1 through 2.3. Venn diagrams used to count elements in a set. In other words, you should have read over Section 2.4, listened to an instructor lectures, etc. Once again, you should be stopping the video, reading and working the problem, then playing the video. So I'll take a deep breath. There we go. All right. Now, this is the second technique we utilize a Venn diagram for. The first method we used the Venn diagram for was to identify where the actual elements of the set are located. Now, we're not going to look at the actual elements of a set, but how many elements belong to a set. So this Venn diagram is illustrating the relationship between two sets here: drinking soda, drinking tea, and then all the students in the survey, the universal set, and their relationship with respect to the numbers that belong to the sets themselves. All right? So, first question, how many of the students drink soda? So, if we're interested in how many students drink soda, they have to be in the soda circle. Well, we have 223 and 31. That comes out to be 254 students drink soda. How many of the students drink neither soda nor tea? Well, if they drink neither one of them, they have to be outside of these two circles, right? Well, that's what this number, this number here is indicating, that 121 students are drinking neither soda nor tea. For the last one, how many of the students do not drink both soda and tea? Do not drink both soda and tea? Well, if you look, these 31 people don't drink tea, so they don't drink both. These 45 people don't drink soda, so they don't drink both. So you think you're done, you submit your answer, and Alex throws another problem at you, and that's because you left off the 121 people that don't drink either one of them. And that simply means they don't drink soda and tea. If you don't drink either one, you're definitely not drinking both. So when you add up your numbers here, if I did this right, 197, okay? 197. All right, so anyway, that's how we utilize a Venn diagram in the second method. These are actual numbers. So if you look at the 223, I'll just add, those are the people that drink both. Moving on. Once again, you should be stopping the video, reading and working out the problem. We took a survey of 161 people and found out the following information. That information is right here, so I assume you have read it. We want to construct a Venn diagram that shows the relationships between the people that own a bird, own a dog, and maybe don't own either one of them. Okay? So we're using a Venn diagram to count how many elements are in a particular set, not the exact elements that belong there that we did in the previous section. So let's get started here. Once again, what we typically try to do here, we try to fill in what I like to call the bullseye right here. If you're standing there, you own a dog and a bird, so we know that number is 39. Then we start working outwards if we can. You never know, sometimes you might not be able to. Maybe you have to work in a particular region that you do know what the number is. In other words, don't use a number until you know how it breaks up. Well, let's look for the people that fall in this particular region right there. Those people only own a dog. We know there are 67 dog owners, but 39 of them also own a bird. So the ones that don't own a bird is the difference between these two numbers, which is 28. Next, we're going to look at the people that belong in this particular region. These are the bird people that don't own a dog. Well, the number of people that own a bird is 84. But once again, of those 84, it's 39 of them own a dog. Remember, this says you own a bird. It says nothing about owning or not owning a dog. This is talking about a dog owner. It didn't say anything about not owning a bird. So be careful. So the difference between these two is 45. So we know there's 45 here. Now, is there any other particular region not filled in? And there is. And it is the outside region. Out here. These are the people in the survey that do not own any dog. Do not own a dog or a bird. Okay? A dog or a bird. And so how do we get that number? Well, we know there's 161 people in total. We have already counted 45 people. We've already counted 39 people. We've already counted 28 people. So the difference between this number and these three numbers is 49. So we know there are 49 people that do not own a dog or a bird. Now, let's go to the questions. How many people own a bird but not a dog? Well, if you're a bird and not a dog person, you're right here, 45. How many people own a bird or a dog or both? So it's a bird or a dog or both. So you can own a bird or a dog or both. And I'll just use a different color here. That means you're in here or you're in here, either one. Either one of these three numbers, bird or dog owner. So add those three numbers up. 45, 39, and 28, and you get 112. Okay, 112. So let's move on. Again, stop the video, read it, work it, play it. We had a trial, a dog trial. A drug trial had 176 participants, and we collected the following information about their experience. 39 indicated they had drowsiness but not nausea. 27 had nausea but not drowsiness. 119 had drowsiness or nausea. So, typically, when you fill in a Venn diagram, you aim for the middle. Okay? You aim for the middle, right here. But I'm telling you right now, that information is not provided right now. Why? Because those are the people that experience both drowsiness and nausea. We don't have that information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at one of the other regions. Well, if you're in this region here, you simply experience nausea only. Oh, hey, guess what? That's the 27 right there. Nausea, but not drowsiness. So I know there's 27 people there. Know what? If I look at this region right here, those are the people that experience only drowsiness. Drowsiness, not nausea. There's 39 people there. Okay? Now, how can I fill in this location right here? Right up in there. the wrong color, but who cares, right? Well, you know that there was 119 people that had either one of them or both. There's 119 people contained in both of these circles here. So in order to find out, 119 people in these two circles. Well, we've already found 27 of them. We also found 39 of them. So of the 119, how many are missing still? 53. 53 are missing, so we know there's 53 people contained inside this particular region here. Now there's one more region, and that is this outside region out here. Got to get my color right, okay? Right out here. Well, we know that there was 176 people that participated. We have already counted 119. Add those three numbers up. 119. So if you think about it, we are missing 57 people. There's only one place those 57 people can go. And those 57 people have to be on the outside. Okay? Once again, each region is distinct. A person, an element belongs in one and only one region. So if we know there's a total of 176 people and we've counted up already 119, 57 are missing, and again we know where they belong because there's only one place available. So how many participants had drowsiness? Well, if you had drowsiness, you're in the drowsiness circle, right? So you'd be adding 53 plus 39. I'll let you do the math. How many participants had both drowsiness and nausea? Well, both drowsiness and nausea is right here in the middle, so that's 53. Did I mess up? Oh, no. How many people had drowsiness? Yeah, 53 and 39. And how many people experienced both? 53. All right, let's move on. Stop the video. Work it, read it, whatever. Let's move it. All right, a drug trial had 449 participants, and we have a Venn diagram that shows us the results, whatever the context here is. So we definitely know that there are 449 participants in this region. We want to know how many of the participants had anxiety. So if you had anxiety, you have to be in this circle here. So we just need to add 199 to 66, and we get 265. All right. How many people had drowsiness or anxiety? So drowsiness or anxiety, you have to be in one of the two circles. It doesn't matter which one. So we know there are 97 there, 66, and 199. And we know we're not double counting because, again, an element belongs in only one and only one particular region, right? So the total there is 362. How many participants did not have both drowsiness and anxiety? So not both of them. So not both, we eliminate the 66. So it's easy enough to say, hey, if there's a total of 449, subtract 66 from that, and that's got to be the other three numbers. So 449 minus 66 is 383. Moving on. Stop the video, work it out, etc. Now in this particular Venn diagram, we are now working with three sets. People that like jazz, people that like rock, people that like classical music. So each region represents a particular subset of these three sets. So what are they? Well, let me get my pen going here. We want to know how many of the freshmen like exactly 2 of the 3 types of music. So if you like exactly 2, you have to be right here, or right here. Because if you're 39, you like jazz, classical, but not rock. If you're 125, you like jazz, rock, but not classical. If you're in the 124, you like rock and classical, but not jazz. Got it? See where you're standing? It tells you what one you belong to. So they don't like, I mean, they like exactly 2. So they like exactly 2. I'm going to let you do the math. 39 plus 125 plus 124. How many of freshmen don't like rock? So we'll change our color here. Don't like rock. If you don't like rock, then you are outside of this circle, right? You're outside of that circle. The 52's outside. The 39's outside. The 81 is outside. And the 77 is outside. So again, I'm going to let you do the math. Those are the numbers which are on outside of the I like rock circle. The next one. How many of the freshmen like neither classical nor jazz, but they do like rock? So neither jazz or classical, jazz or classical, but they do like rock. So you know they like rock, so they got to be in the rock circle. So we know we're up in here. And my different colors not working, right? Why not? All right, we like rock, right? But we have to take out the people like classical or jazz. These people like classical or jazz. These people like classical or jazz. These people like classical or jazz. So we're left with 121, if you can read that. All right, moving on. All right, stop the video, read it, work it out. Very similar problem to the previous one. Let's see what they're going to ask us. Apparently, we're looking at a relationship between people that drink coffee, milk, tea, or none of them. All right? We had a total of 649 people, right? Right here at the top. So let's look at the first one. We'll start with purple. All right? How many students drink tea, but they don't drink coffee? So you know they're drinking tea. So you know they're in this circle here. But we have to toss out the coffee drinkers. Well, these people drink coffee. These people drink coffee. So what's left? The 82 and the 54. These people drink tea, don't drink coffee. These people drink tea, don't drink coffee. It said nothing about milk. So you can't make some sort of assumption about the milk drinking. Part B. How many of the students drink neither milk nor tea? So you cannot be drinking milk or tea, neither one. So you got to throw out the milk people, which are located here. You got to toss out the tea people that are right here. And so what's left over? These 47 people here and the 102 people here. So 102 plus 47 drink neither milk nor tea. Last one. How many students drink exactly one of the 3 drinks? One of the 3 drinks. So we're going to go with red here. Exactly one. These people only drink coffee. These people only drink milk. These people only drink tea. Add those 3 numbers up and you have your answer. Moving on. Okay, once again, pause the video, read it, work it out, play the video. All right, so in this particular problem here, we're going to be filling in a Venn diagram given some information. All right, when you fill in a Venn diagram, the one thing you have to remember is you cannot insert any one of these numbers unless you know how it breaks up. For example, 362 students drink tea. So if they drink tea, they are in the drink the tea circle right here. But again, I can't break that number up because there are 4 different places though that number can be broken up into. So what you're doing is you're trying to find one of these numbers that fits in one of these particular regions. So obviously it's not the 665 because that is the entire region, right? The entire world, the universe. This 362 we can't work with yet. 61 people drink both tea and coffee, but they don't drink soda. So if you think about it, these people drink tea and coffee, but they don't drink soda. Well, if you drink tea and coffee, you have to be right here because you don't drink soda. So we know where that 61 goes. We can put it there. They drink tea and coffee, but they're outside of the drink soda circle. Okay? So I like to cross out the numbers when I use them. 43 people drink both tea and soda, but they don't drink coffee. They drink tea and soda, but they don't drink coffee. So tea and soda drinkers are located up in here, but they don't drink coffee, so they have to be right here. 73 students drink coffee, but they don't drink tea nor soda. So these 73 people or students are in the drink coffee circle, right? But they only drink coffee. So these 73 people have to be located here. 147 students drink tea, but they don't drink soda nor coffee. So they're tea only people. And if you only drink tea, this is the region you have to be located in. 42 of the students drink soda, but they don't drink tea or coffee. So they're only soda drinkers. Only soda drinkers are 142, and they have to be right here. Because again, if you're anywhere else in the soda circle, you're drinking tea, you're drinking all 3, you're drinking coffee. They're only soda drinkers, so they have to be here. Once again, we know where these numbers belong right now. Now, 613 people drink at least one of these 3 types. Okay? You're in one of these 3 circles. The problem is we have 2 regions that need to be filled in. This 613 we cannot work with yet. They drink at least one of them. If they drink at least one of them, they're in one of the 3 circles. The problem is there are 2 regions left over. So we can't break up the number properly. But if we go back to the top and we look at the 362, they drink tea. And if they drink tea, we know what? They're in this circle here. If they drink tea, we know how to break this number up because there's only one region left. Of the 362, we have found 147, we have found 43, and we have found 61 tea drinkers already. They might be doing other stuff, but we know they drink tea. So the difference between the 362 that fills in the entire circle and the ones that we have found already is 111, and we know where they go, right there. Because again, these people drink tea. All we know is they filled in this entire circle, 362. But we found some of them already. The 147, the 43, and 61. We're missing 111. We know where they have to go. Now we go back to the 615, right? Go back to the 615 number right here. Well, if we have 615 people that drink at least one of them, notice now there's only one region not open. I mean, not filled in yet. So if we back out the other numbers, we are going to know how many people belong to that particular region. And if I did my calculation right, that is 38. So we know 38 people belong here. We now have every region filled out except right here. But we know there's 655 people in total. So we add up all of these numbers here. These are all the people accounted for. And we are missing how many people? We are missing 40 people. So again, what I'm doing is I'm taking the total number and backing out, oh, that's 665, so that's 50 people. I'm sorry, 50 people. 665, so 665. All right, so that's a correction. Again, I don't usually edit these things. 665 minus the numbers filled in here leaves us 50 people. So now we have it filled in. How many students don't drink coffee? The ones that don't drink coffee are the ones outside of this circle here. So you're going to add up these numbers right here. So the answer to this is 147 plus 43 plus 142 plus 50. Those are the people that don't drink coffee. All right? So hopefully my numbers are correct, and you let me know if it's not. All right? Thank you. All right, stop the video, look at the problem, work it out, play the video. All right, so in this particular problem, again, we're filling in a Venn diagram. You can't fill in a region until you know exactly how many things belong there. So working with these numbers here, we can't work with a number until we know how to break it up. We have 602 in total, right? I messed up on the last one there. But we have 602 in total. We can't work with that number because we don't have any regions filled out. Okay? 418 had anxiety, so they would be in this circle. But again, too many regions that are empty. We can't break it up. Likewise for the 346, the 261. The 182 had both fatigue and dizziness. Fatigue and dizziness would be right here. Can't break it up. So once again, we have to find that number we can break up. Well, if you look at the last number right here, 151 had all three. If you have all three, you know you are standing right there. So we know where the 151 goes. So we have that one covered. Now, let's work back upwards, but again, we can't use a number until we know how it breaks up. 47 had anxiety and fatigue, but they did not have dizziness. The 47 people were having anxiety and they were having fatigue, but they did not have dizziness. You know what? They have to be here. They have to be, right? There's only one place where you can stand if you have anxiety and fatigue, but not dizziness. 102 had both anxiety and dizziness, but not fatigue. 102 had anxiety and dizziness, so you're right up in here. Okay? But you don't have fatigue, so you can't be here. You only have one place you can go. 102. 82 had both fatigue and 182 had both fatigue and dizziness. So we have fatigue and dizziness, you're in this region. So the 182, notice, it breaks down to the 151 because again, they have fatigue and dizziness, but they also have anxiety. So we didn't say nothing about not having anxiety here, and that's the key. So the 182 includes the 151. When you take the difference, we have 31 people left over. Those 31 people have to be here. Notice 151 and 31 equals the 182 that have fatigue and dizziness. What you can't do is assume something when they don't tell you something. 261 people had fatigue. Well, if you have fatigue, you're in the fatigue circle. Every single region's filled out but one. So we can break this number up. 47, 151, 31. We back out all of these numbers and we get 32. So 32 had fatigue only. So we worked with that number. 346, I'm running out of space here, 346 had dizziness, showing in the dizziness circle. But again, we already found 102, we found 151, and we had 31. That already belonged to that circle. So we're missing 62 people. And there's only one place these people can go because there's only one region left over. We have 418 that have anxiety. They're in the anxiety circle. But again, back out these three numbers here from the 418. And how many do you have left over? You do the math. Again, the 418, the anxiety circle, you got to back out this number, and that number because they're already in that circle. That difference is 118. There's only one place they can go. So we have one region that needs to be filled in. People that had none of them. Well, there was 602 in total. We already, if you add up all these numbers in here, those are the people that have been accounted for. So who's missing? Take 602 and subtract all of these numbers from it. And if I did that correctly, there are 59 people missing, and there's only one place they can be, right there. So now what is the question? How many participants had both anxiety and dizziness? So anxiety and dizziness would be right here. Anxiety and dizziness. Remember, it says nothing about fatigue. So you're not saying they don't have fatigue. You're not saying they did have fatigue. The only thing we know is they had anxiety and dizziness. You add those two numbers together and you get 253. Right? These two numbers right here. Anxiety and dizziness. All right, so I hope this helps. These are kind of tedious, right? Thank you. But the important thing is you look at a number and you break it up. But when you break it up, whatever's left over, it has to go in one particular spot. You can't put numbers in until you know exactly it fits in that spot.